Wow, lots of valuable information in the first interview we did there. Half hour of great content, everybody. Josh here, owner of JH Exteriors here in St. Louis, Missouri, covering the St. Louis South Metro area, right? You're based out of Imperial, so I grew up in Fenton, Arnold, LA. We joked that that's LA, Lower Arnold over there.
Yeah,
And
that's one way of looking at it.
and lots of fun over there. But yeah, Josh really got into some in-depth information. One of the things I want to start off with just by talking about it was he's really gotten into the marketing side of this too, because you have to.
Yes.
And that's what we're going to help him with, these videos that he's going to be able to produce and put out there. But this really helps people understand who you are and what you're about. But with that, quick shout out Carroll House Furniture, because you like nice things in your little castle. And USA Mortgage, powered by the Flowers team, doing a great job supporting our community here. With that, let's put everything back up on the wall for what we're going to cover here, because you really get into it, man. And I love the technology. We can talk about that a little bit, but I want to start off with, this is one of my favorite questions, because there's so often people, they don't even know where to start. And so tell me, what is one mistake very often that you see consumers make when they're going through this process of
When they're
getting their
going
home
through the
fixed?
insurance restoration process, if they are filing the claim, the biggest mistake is, or the biggest objection is, I'm getting 3 estimates. Sure, I encourage that. Go ahead and get your 3 estimates. However, make sure those are 3 interviews. Make sure you're interviewing your contractor versus getting numbers. Don't shop around. You don't need to shop around. I'm not the cheapest one out there. By no means, I'm not the cheapest. I got a brick and mortar office. I got trucks. I got crews. I got insurance. I got more insurance. I got some taxes too.
Right.
So what you're doing is you could hire what I call Pete, working out of the back of his pickup truck. Hasn't made it to the level where I'm at today. The brick and mortar office building, the trucks, the insurance. Pete is not properly paying for the right insurances, or he's not doing the taxes properly. So his overhead costs are a lot lower, but his ambition and his profits are wanting to be up to where mine are.
Right.
There's a difference there. How can you get to the same point? You really can't unless you're doing everything properly. The homeowners are not realizing all these things, so Pete's going to cut some corners to try to get up to a different level of contractor. I don't want to try to set myself aside or something like that, but he's wanting to make the same profits as we do. Well, we do take everything down to the plywood deck when doing a roof. We do everything from the ground up, following manufacturer's installation instructions and codes. Pete's not going to do that because he's going to accept the first bid. Whereas I'm going to come in and I'm going to charge for everything that I do. And what that does is helps out the homeowners, because now they're going to get a full roof replacement, full siding replacement, built to manufacturer specs and code. Homeowner is only on the hook for their deductible. They're going to pay it to somebody. They're going to pay it to Pete, working on a backup pickup truck.
Right.
It's cutting corners. Or they're going to pay it to me, which is going to do everything by manufacturer specs and by code. So that $1,500 deductible, your out-of-pocket expense, is only going to be paid to one contractor. Which contractor would you rather pay to? The one that's going to do everything properly. It's going to charge a little bit more because he has to in order to do everything properly.
Right.
Or you're going to pay it to Pete. It's going to cut corners. That's a kind of easy math, really.
Well, I'd say a lot of people, we talk about that. Pete, no particular offense to anybody named Pete, but
Yeah.
I like your example. But yeah, I mean, cutting corners costs money.
Yes.
Right. If they say do things right the first time, so you don't have to do it again. Like, if you have to do something twice, you cost yourself twice as much.
Yeah.
When you save 5 or 10 or 15%, cutting some corners to get it done, saving a few bucks.
Yeah, a lot of times it's 10 times as much, not twice as much. Because you got to tear everything out that they did and start all over from scratch.
Wow. Yeah, you can really get yourself into a situation where you're going to pay quite a bit more to get everything done, and that will really. Because once you're tearing everything out, that's going to double, triple, quadruple. It could be crazy with the added expense that they're going to get.
With today's prices and the materials, we've had probably, I'd say 8 to 10 shingle increased prices. That have went up probably a good 35 to 38% in the last 3 years.
Holy cow! So those are some dramatic increases in price costs.
Yes.
And so that's where it can get up to be 6, 7, 8, 10 times more overall when you comparing everything.
Yeah, and
apples
it's
to
hard to
apples.
keep up with them. As soon as I use that template, so all I got to do is put in linear footages and square footages into my templates to come up with my prices. And it seems like once a week, once every other week, I got to go in there and edit my templates to update the prices. And it gets pretty old.
Wow. Well, yeah, it's a matter of staying on the ball. That's where we talk about your you're really keeping up with the latest and greatest because you've got some advanced software. Your Hover we showed about. If you missed that on show number 1, everybody, check out what Hover does. It really lets you see what you can make your house look like, give you a real live example. And then AccuLinks really allows you to pull all the quick quotes and pricing, get everything somebody, so you have something to show to the insurance company.
Organization is probably the key to my success as well. Pretty detail oriented. Without these software programs, I would have chicken scratch notes all over the place trying to pull it all together. What the software does is allows me to pull it together nice and easy, print out a nice looking estimate, something you can submit to your insurance carrier or something. If you're like me, you're detail oriented, you want to see where all the costs are going. The software helps me do all that.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You want to stay on the ball because so much of this detail gets overlooked when you're talking about, hey, I just got a $30,000, $50,000 repair. Hey, there's some extra 2x4s, there's some extra siding, there's a couple extra squares on the roof. This could end up being quite a bit more than most people realize. And if you're not paying attention, then, oh, wow, what are they really doing to fix this?
If you don't know your job numbers, then you're trying to run that business, how can you substantiate your extra cost to the insurance carrier or even to the homeowner if it's bid contracting? You got to be able to show your costs and what your square footages or linear footages are compared to that cost and that extra material. If you can't show those things and you don't know how to provide those things, then how's the homeowner or the insurance carrier going to trust you to say, yeah, this is right? Again, we're going to go back to Pete working on the back of a pickup truck versus somebody that's got all the correct answers and all the facts.
There you go. So it's a matter of getting it done right the first time. We like to say, of course, everybody, we've talked about that a number of times on our show, but it's just go get it and line yourself up with some of the resources. You and I did talk a little bit about the fact that not often does it seem every one of your home remodeling exterior builders goes through all the steps that you've gone through to have the kind of software that really helps you. What kind of an edge do you really feel like? You talked about the organization, but does it also help you to better qualify? You're more efficient. You talked about time savings.
Way more efficient. It knocks off hours upon hours of, especially during summer or cold time. I'm getting older. I don't want to be out there in the sun measuring all these things up. So if I can eliminate 1 hour or save 1 hour out of my day by using this program, it's only going to cost $50 or $100. You got to look at it this way. What am I worth in my business? Can that 1 hour better be utilized someplace else, helping out another customer, or $100? So yeah, I always weigh those options. The $100, I'm going to make $500 over here in that hour versus spending that $100. So that $400 difference, yes, it's well worth staying above and beyond the edge, especially with this stuff here, using the right softwares. I'm not going to miss nothing. I got all my details all the way around the whole house. The program helps me count all the materials that I need. Everything's going to be done properly.
Well, there it is, everybody. I'm going to put this up on the wall for everybody to see on the wide shot. But when you really get down to it, wow, there's so much that goes into this. You just don't realize how important it is to have all these things. And the house you've got here on the left, this is what we show this again on this show because we had it on the last show. But there's the house. Here's what it can look like. You can see down to the windows, everything you want to renovate, get fixed, get updated. You can change it and modify it. You can even see what it looks like. I'm going to put this tab up here for everybody here. Here's where you're actually adjusting the colors, picking the colors out of the list of options that most people have, and to let people really see what they can do to make their house look new again.
Yeah.
Even as a new style versus what they had done before.
Choose the red on there real quick.
Yeah, let's go here. We're going to select the red. Oh, okay. Like that.
That's how easy it is.
Okay, yeah. So you can just change your colors as by you see here by clicking here, and you can really get a good perspective on how your house is going to look. That's pretty powerful stuff, I would say. So there's the original house right there. Well, tell me how big of an advantage do you think it is to have this kind of software? I don't know anybody else that has this stuff.
Especially for the younger generation. I don't know what the baby boomers are versus Gen X, whatever. But I know the people younger than 45, they're more hip on more hip on the software technology versus somebody that's over 50 that still hasn't got their first email yet. So it's a huge advantage, especially when somebody understands the software. You walk in with your laptop, sit down at the kitchen table, you turn it around, and you show them with a house already pre-designed based on a couple of questions that I've asked them a couple of days before. I come in and I have the house designed and I show it to them. They're like, wow, that's what my vision was. And they only know that I did that.
So this is all done with you. Do you take what kind of camera are you using to do this?
This is my cell phone.
This is your smartphone.
This is my smartphone.
That you got, but you do just walk around the entire house, do kind of a panoramic.
Yeah,
as you
total
go
of
around.
8 pictures, I think, 8 to 10 pictures, and the company is really fast on turnaround time. They even have a new feature now that I call it gingerbread. If you want to do a lot of shake and a lot of scallop type things on the front of your house, look gingerbread like.
Okay.
We could submit those ideas to the company, and they'll come back with a different design, better design that I could do. I just do the basic features with it. A lot of times that's enough, but they'll do down to the nitty-gritty details, and they come back with some really nice designs. So if your budget's really up there and you want to do all those new garage door, the carriage style hinges on them, things like that is what I'm talking about. They can provide all those small details where the basic version only gives me the colors and profiles, and I can split walls and change colors, which works out really well, but they will do down to the finest detail.
Well, it looks like you've really got some great software to offer here, people. This is something that literally changes the way business is done.
Yeah.
And when you've got this kind of a resource, I'm just looking at that 3D image over there. It keeps changing and giving you different options and colors and schemes, all with the same house, but just in different variations. Gingerbread, I like the way you talk about that, so people can kind of customize.
Get that visualization.
It reminds me, as a kid, we did every Christmas or Thanksgiving we did the gingerbread house with the kids.
Right.
They all are given the same materials, even down to the same colors and specs and everything, but they all look different because of the way they.
That's why I like to use that analogy. Everybody's done a gingerbread house or some point or somehow, or seen it on TV or something, so they can relate with that gingerbread analogy.
Wow, that's pretty cool with the way you're really helping the community and the people. That's where we put the cowboy hat on for everybody. We do that. Tell me a time, and I got your answer here because we took some notes here before. Some people write their answers out, but tell me a time when you feel like you really helped a client. Do you have a specific answer? I mean, every day you get to do that.
Every day, I don't want to. I always try not to talk bad about any company or any one person, but the insurance carriers, they are there to make money and to save money. I'm there to make money as well. You turn in a claim, the adjuster comes out, he does an evaluation. I come out, I do my evaluation. A lot of times there's 40 to 50 to 60% difference in price. My helping out the homeowner is making sure that they don't get taken advantage of, one, by the insurance carrier, or two, by Pete. Let's do this thing properly with full transparency.
Well, yeah, that's how you get down to it. If you want to get, if you're really going to be down to helping somebody, you've got to give them all the information, and just say you're doing above and beyond to make sure everybody does have the information. Because, gosh, these 3D renderings, this design, everything that they've got access to, you can literally. They can do this all from their own house. You bring a laptop in with you.
I share all the links to them through email, so they can go in and they play with these programs by themselves. So if they're tech savvy, it's really easy to do as well. Hover is. If you have any software technology experience, you can figure out Hover in a matter of 5-10 minutes.
Wow, that's impressive. All right, I want to talk a little bit about some more of the reviews. We found you've got great reviews here all over the internet, and so a 4.5, 39 reviews, and it seems like your web developer has helped to integrate that into your website here because you got the same number there. So that's pretty cool. Making sure people understand you've done great work. You've got a lot of people that support you. We talk about 10% of the people that you've worked with will actually do a review for you. If maybe less than that.
Less than that.
You're talking 340 or maybe 1,000 clients you've had over whatever time frame we're talking here. But that's a lot of work you've done in our community.
We put links in our emails and our invoices everywhere. We have asking for the referral, and like you said, less than 10% with it. I read something here a long time ago. Asking for referrals or asking for reviews, it takes a minimum of 10 to 12 times for somebody to hear it before they'll even consider it. Not to do it, but consider it.
Well, yeah, that's the magic number within regard to marketing and what people need to hear. They need to hear things at least 7 times before they'll make a decision.
Maybe that's the right number. So
no, we talk about that in our review when we're helping clients understand what they do to promote themselves, and people have got to hear it's consistency. Yes. We're all kind of distracted, and life's going on, and a lot going on, a lot to manage. But by the time somebody's heard something 7 times, now they're going, oh, maybe I should pay attention to that. Maybe that's something I should consider.
You know, we have to be experts in marketing, experts in our field of trades. Being a business owner today is not just a trades secret anymore. We have to there's so many different tasks that go into being a small business owner today. With the internet, learning how to do the marketing, knowing Google algorithms, Facebook algorithms, how's all this stuff pulling together? Can you do it? Yeah. And then trusting the marketing companies. Lead generation, that's another whole topic all by itself.
Well, listen to some of the expertise that Josh is sharing with us, everybody. Not just how to run a roofing or exteriors company, but how to run a business in general. I mean, it just seems that all of this is necessary, and the software to run it, the reviews, the lead follow-up, the lead generation, and just how do you these days handle a business in our modern environment, because marketing has become so key. I might have mentioned that quote earlier or not, but a buddy of mine, he's an exteriors guy, and he says, Carter, we're actually marketing companies that sell roofs or that do exteriors, because there's so much that goes into that now from a marketing perspective. Because now it used to be just pretty much the yellow pages, or you did television, radio, and all the other big stuff. Now there's this whole interwebs has changed things for us.
Yes. And then how's it changed? It's like night and day. It's like before, somebody would want something, they get the yellow pages, flip through it, find the C's, contractor, roofing, and then that was it. Now there's so many different avenues of information to get out there. Your brand awareness, your actual direct marketing, your funnels, all these things. Before, a contractor didn't have to know these. There's so much more knowledge that's going into being a small business owner. My brain's just going 90 nothing right now. I'm trying to get out the right words, and because there's so much.
That is true. Well, you talk about one of the key words we use in the marketing world is funnels. And what is that funnel? There's the sales funnel, just the cycle that people go through, and then there's the actual landing pages that people put together. So we've got special stuff we do for a lot of our guests to help make sure that they've got all the tools to put that together, because boy, it is a convoluted and confusing world out there, if you will, to make sure that you can stay on top of the stuff. The big companies have a lot of money, but they're not as quick to respond. Small businesses, I see, give a better result very often because they can fix something quickly. They can get to the problem and address it and update and upgrade and improve things all the time. And it gives you some big advantage, especially with the software you've got involved with what you're doing.
I think one of our biggest advantages is Google. Google gives you your local business listing. Google My Business, and I think they just recently changed it again, the name of it.
Sure.
So our profile is just as important as our website. So our Google Business profile is our landing page or gateway to our website. Right. So people usually go to that, then they want more information about us, then they go to our website. And that's our funnel.
Tell me the process though. What is the process that somebody normally goes through to start to say, Josh, I love you, we're going to do this? How do they get started working with you?
Well, we ask them to sign. First of all, they call in as the lead. Heather will take all their information. My lovely daughter, your email, your phone number, your insurance carrier, all this information she gets before I even go out there. A lot of times she'll even sell the job before I even get there. Kind of like hopefully we set up our marketing and advertising where we're order takers now. So it's already sold before we even start.
Right.
Took a long time to get to that point, by the way.
Yeah.
So it becomes the lead. Then I go out and do the inspection, one to determine whether this is going to be a bid contracting or insurance restoration. 90% of the time it is insurance restoration, I'm sorry. So we set up the time with the homeowners, we get a service agreement signed, we meet with the adjuster. Adjuster approves it or denies it or partially approves it. I only give the advice on percentages. So if the homeowner needs a new roof and the roof is marginally damaged from hail or wind, I'll give a percentage on what I think that the insurance carrier is going to approve it. So I'll say 60 or 70% odds you spending $15,000 of your own money, or you're spending $13,000 or $12,000 of the insurance carrier money, because your deductible might be $3,000. Gotcha. So your out-of-pocket expense could either be $3,000 your deductible or $15,000. I'll give a percentage of that. I feel 70% confident. I feel 80% confident that this will be approved. Well, we go through that process. Adjuster will come up with his estimate. I'll come up with mine. Usually there's a good 40% difference between the two. We go through a process called supplementing. We show our facts and we show our numbers on why we think that we're correct. The argument is that they're correct.
Wow. I
use the manufacturer's specifications and codes that says that I'm right. Get with black and white, yes and no, no gray areas. That's kind of like how I have to operate. The process usually goes from starting the claim to 100% completion, especially if there's multiple trades, can take up to 1 to 3 months. We try to shorten it down to 30 to 45 days. However, I can only move as fast as the next person. I can only move as fast as the insurance carrier, the adjuster. If he doesn't have or she doesn't have very good communication skills, it's going to take a long time. If the mortgage company's involved, they want to monitor the claim, meaning disbursement of funds, of how much they're going to be willing to let go to start the roof off. The homeowners, all these things, all these personalities, I can only do as fast as they can move.
Right.
So sometimes it takes longer. But we try to, our process and procedures, try to get down to 30 to 45 days.
Wow, that's a lot to go through, but it's a matter of running a business these days. That's what you've got to handle, and understand the way you've got your kind of arms wrapped around this whole thing. Got good support. You said is your daughter and your stepdaughter?
Yes, my stepdaughter runs my office for me.
Okay, and she does a great job to help make things happen for all the clients. Easy.
Get lots of compliments on her. She's got a great phone voice. It's the best one.
That's dynamite.
Yeah.
All right, tell me, what's a big challenge that you've had to overcome during this time? You've been in business for a long time. We always like to offer a tip to somebody to say, hey, here's something you're going to deal with likely, and this is how Josh overcame that particular problem.
As a business owner, the biggest thing that our biggest obstacles is employment, keeping and retaining and hiring employees. I like to think that I'm really experienced in being a business owner. However, I do lack the one skill set of training properly.
Okay.
I'm old school. I was taught the old school way: get in and get her done.
Right.
Nobody really taught me how to do it. I just learned on my own.
Go on. Yeah.
Not everybody is the same. Some
Get your feet
not
wet.
people have the mindset that way. I just expect people. I put too high of expectations on people, thinking that they should know how to do it. That's kind of like my drawback. I would say work on that if that is one of your key things that's holding you holding you back from being more successful in your business.
Right.
Work on your shortcomings.
Yeah.
Because that's the way you're going to grow.
Well, obviously you've overcome that. You probably got some help from within the office there, because you can't have the kind of business with the success you've had with problems like that don't get addressed. And so it sounds like you've done a good job of, and part of that might be finding somebody to help you overcome those kinds of things too.
In 2014, I hired a business coach, Jim Johnson, Roof Coach Pro. Had I followed his advice 100%, I'd probably be in a different position I am in today. But back then, I was still headstrong that I knew all the answers. Didn't have that humility then.
Right.
Like I have today. It's like, well, maybe I should have listened a little bit more.
Another tip there, everybody. Hey, take note, everyone. We are getting some great tidbits here, great information. JH Exteriors, serving the South St. Louis metro area. JHExteriors.com, 636-942-1346. Josh has got some great information for us. We're not done. We got a few more things we got to talk about here, but take some notes here, everybody. Josh has given some great information for those who need to get a house updated, fixed, repaired, remodeled, restored, or if you're just a business owner and you want to say, hey, how do you run a successful business? Josh has really done a great job and been very successful at doing so. Tell me then, do you have a favorite quote from a favorite movie or something that kind of helped you to inspire you?
One that probably is not should be said on this interview, but I love Young Guns.
Okay.
With Emilio Estevez and Martin Sheen. Not Martin Sheen, but Charlie Sheen. They was all out in the desert tripping peyote. And I forgot the guy's name, but he goes, hey, dog, did you see the size of that chicken? To me, that's just one of those things it stood out for me for many, many years. And every now and then I think about that and I get a good chuckle to myself.
Well, yeah, life is a very intense, and so sometimes you need to just cut back and have a little relaxation and enjoy a little bit about the more fun things we can all take on in life. Tell me, what is one big objection a lot of people have when they say, okay, I'm ready to do this, but what is that but that they have?
I want to talk it over with my wife, or I'm getting the 3 bids we talked about earlier. I cannot stress enough, whether you're doing bid contracting or you're doing insurance restoration, do not shop around on price. You're only doing yourself a disservice. Interview the contractor, because the contractor's interviewing you. Make sure you're a good fit with that contractor. If it's going to be an extra $200, sacrifice that $200 in your budget to make sure you're working with somebody you're going to get along with. Because if you can't get along with your contractor and you're having that gut feeling that the contractor's not a good fit for you, don't do it. Don't go down that road
Right.
of knowing that you're going to have some problems at the end. Because there could be legalities of it all. You can go to court. I mean, there's so many things that can happen all over you choosing $200 cheaper. So interview the contractor. Don't go off a price.
That's one of our favorite quotes we use, everybody. It's cheap can become very expensive.
Yes.
If you're trying to just do things without putting the right financial means behind it, you can cost yourself quite a bit.
And pay attention to the details. Big contracting usually comes with a paragraph of description. It's barely a description at best of what the contractor is going to perform. Whereas my details, I have line item based pricing. So you know exactly what you're buying, what services I'm offering, and what I'm going to be doing. I describe the whole job in detail, and I have prices with that. It's not to say that one's better than the other, line item plus or job plus cost. Make sure the details are there. You can do the paragraph one, that's great, it's a good way of doing it, but make sure the details are there so you have something to compare to if you're going to do price shopping.
Very important, everybody. Stay on top of the ball. Get the details. The devil is in the details.
Yes.
They talk about it. As much as you must dig in to make sure you're covering everything, because if you miss one important detail, it could cost you a lot.
Yes.
Especially when you're talking about $30,000-$50,000 repair or restoration of your home. So tell me, what gives you the most satisfaction when it comes down to it? You just wake up every day. What do you enjoy most about what you get to do?
When a homeowner calls me a week, 2 weeks after we completed a project and thanking me, most recent one was a gentleman does graphics repair, graphics decals for like vehicles and design on the computer. Calls me up, was so thankful and appreciative of what we've done for him. We took him from a denial to a full approval, a full exterior wrap, minus the windows and doors. But we got siding, gutters, and roof. Did all that for him, and he was so appreciative. He calls up, says, "Are you wanting a new logo design? Are you wanting this done? Are you wanting that done? I'll do it for free."
Wow.
Getting phone calls like that, not every homeowner does that, but to get those types of phone calls, even if it's once a year, it makes me feel so good that I'm doing something right.
That's important. The key to the success. See what the mentality that people have when you're helping people doing good work. They want to give back. They want to contribute. They want to help give back to you too. Tell me, how do you feel you contribute to the community? What is it you do most that you feel helps our little planet here?
We haven't done so much in the last few years ever since COVID, but my office building, we own the whole building, and it had Chelsea's Place Tavern in the middle of the bar, or in the middle of the building. How we gave back to the community, we was doing a lot of charities for backstoppers, for firemen and police officers. A lot of charitable events, benefits. JH Exteriors would co-sponsor or pay for everything, and then let the benefit pay JH Exteriors back. So that was my way of giving back to the community, was helping out the backstoppers a lot.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. JH Exteriors, Josh here, an expert. Stay tuned for more, everybody. This is the Your Little Castle Show. Giddy up.